and I've noticed that if I'm a little harder on the boys, especially my Black boys, because I want them to be successful and I want them to know what it's like when they're walking in the community and what that looks like. Explaining to them what's going on in today's society with the George Floyd or, the Tamir Rice and all of those things and what that means, but making sure that I'm just doing just enough to educate them because they're not my kids and I don't want to overstep those boundaries. So providing that education and what a microaggression is and what happens when some of their peers who are whites calls them the N-word. How do we say something and how do we feel comfortable with being uncomfortable and having those tough discussions? So that's kind of what we've been really struggling with. The N-word has been thrown around a lot in this right now during this climate, and I've noticed that the kids are getting very, very upset by it, and the teachers are like, we just don't know what to say. So really right now for us during this time is how do I make it, it's personal for me, but how do I see that and also do my job to educate as well?
Absolutely. Do you find a difference between kind of mentoring the girls from the boys? Do you find the boys harder because of the George Floyds and, the men kind of being the target in this movement? Do you find it harder to kind of get them to not be frustrated?
So with the girls, when I was in Binghamton with the girls, we've had the police kind of come on campus and talk to the girls, and they're super welcoming, listen to really understand, and the officers were very much like, hey, we're here to help you. A lot of times it was, we're calling them when things get escalated. So how do you work with these families when they're having trauma and mental health issues, and explaining to them with my Black boys especially in New York City, it's like, I don't want the police coming here. I'm told to run. I don't be there. We don't deal with them. And it's like, so it took and police were also getting frustrated. It's like, well, when you're running, this is what we see. And it's like, no, they're running because that's what they're taught, that you will shoot them and ask questions later. So how do the police officers work to just listen to understand instead of listening to respond? Because those are the two types of listening. So how do we make it so that, no, we're not bashing police officers, and no, not all police officers are like horrible, but
Right.
you want to, if they see you, and we had the day after school ended, we had a field day, and they came in and shoot basketball and dance with them and did different routines with them. So it's like, when you see this police officer, oh, this is Officer Brown, or this is, Officer Anderson, it's like, well, let's build that relationship and let's have the conversation. So now when I go to Ossiningo Park and I'm studying or I'm walking around and I see police officers talking to kids, I'm like, oh, that warms my heart, because it's not them being fearful.